I've never seen it.
This is Academy Award episode number 2. We did The Brutalist last week with Jay Light. And I literally forgot this movie's already a complete unknown. Is that what this is called?
Yeah, it's
You tell me.
I can't even. This is the common theme with the discussion of the Oscars, because the Oscar discussion kind of starts when we come back for the year, because it's like mid-late January. As far as like this podcast specifically, this is maybe the most forgettable. Literally, like I don't even remember like 2021 Oscars. At least he like slapped him. Or whatever, was that year? Like the COVID movie Oscars?
That was 2022.
Oh. Whatever year the COVID movie, I guess I forgot that one.
The COVID, there was a COVID one that was inside Union Station in LA that was mental, that was clearly supposed to end with, oh my God, the guy who played Black Panther, whose name I'm just...
Chadwick Boseman.
It was him winning Best Actor after dying, but then it went to Anthony Hopkins instead.
That's right, who wasn't there.
So it ended on like the most insane, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like that is right. I do remember that.
My God.
But this feels very forgettable of a year of Oscars. Some year I'm like, there's a few good ones in here. This year I have only seen Dune 2, and other than that, nothing has really jumped out to me.
Am I insane that it feels like the Oscars are getting, like, each year it's like they're more and more trying to make fetch happen? Like, it's over, guys. Like,
I would say
let us stop now.
I do think hiring Conan was smart, and I think he's going to do a great job and be perfect for it. But I think he's a really good guy. Has Conan ever historically been the captain of a sinking ship? We don't know. He's certainly never led something that was doomed to die from day one.
Yeah, right.
So hopefully he brings out a Bugatti.
If it doesn't go well, how they're going to blame Jay Leno for this, I don't know.
I hope they bring Leno in after a few of the awards,
Yeah.
and then just let Conan do the Golden Globes backstage.
Yeah, right.
That would be. It would be also amazing if he just goes. He's just like. Goes absolutely just chicken killer and starts naming names.
Yeah.
Let me fucking say this about Jeff Zucker, you dumb fuck.
I do think he's perfect for it because he's really good between Razzie. He's like, a good toe of the line of talking to people and celebrities like him, and he's not threatening. And
he's America's older brother's friend.
Yeah.
He
used to show you videos that you're just like, I've never even heard of Peep Show. And he's like, well, I have a DVD that works in this region.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, what the fuck is the region? What are we watching?
Well, you have to open your DVD player and click a thing in, and you change the region. And he's like that guy. He was good at all the stuff a little bit before anyone cared about any of the stuff.
Such a good pull. He's exactly the guy that it's like 2011, and he's like, oh, you guys aren't into Peep Show? And you're like, the fuck?
Yeah. He calls both Michael Showalter and Michael Ian Black by their first name when talking about them to you in a shed. And he is giving you weed but doesn't smoke it.
He was emotionally affected by Jim Jordan. Not Jim Jordan. Fuck! Jimmy Pesto doing January 6th.
Oh, the guy who stormed the Capitol.
Yeah. Oh, only I could have remembered his name. I was right there.
Here, it's okay.
Jay Johnston.
Jay Johnston. Damn it, Jono.
It's just crazy when his name is almost as funny as his character's name.
Right.
Jay Johnston, Jim Pest.
He also the photos of him in January 6th look hilarious.
Yeah.
Like he's just
his
like
thing over his
face. It feels like he's like, we're having fun.
It sort of looked like, remember when Community would do those episodes that'd be like a spoof, like the pillow fight episode that'd be like a spoof of a documentary.
Yeah.
And then they would show the Ken Burns sort of, like if Bob's Burgers did like a Ken Burns of their people and slow panned in, it would be, his photos are objectively hilarious.
It was like Bob's Burgers did a Channel 5 episode.
Yes. But I agree that it does feel, not just specifically COVID, I think is the reason that we all don't care. COVID was a good opportunity for every celebrity to let us know what they think about stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Without anyone in between them. And that was a dire straits for celebrities. And I think everyone kind of got to choose where on the spectrum of anti-vax to great person with just to the right of the middle being Imagine video attendee, they landed. So I think we learned too much about people.
Sure. It was like when Alec Baldwin had his talk show, and he was like, for the first time, not reading someone else's lines. And it was just like,
or shooting someone.
Yeah, right. And it was just like, I guess Alec Baldwin is as crazy as you might have.
Everyone got a podcast. Everyone talked too much. You're like, I don't like this.
Yeah, no, Alec Baldwin's such a good example of, he's a great looking guy.
Yeah.
But not.
And talented at his job.
He's an amazing actor. But like, if you think about it, his podcast is just him waiting for someone who is also good at something to stop talking so he can share an anecdote about what they just said.
Yeah, or wedge in an anecdote about Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love. And he is very, very good.
There is a part of me that would be like, if you were that guy in Glengarry, you would every day be
He is the best character who was added to the play. And he's the best character in the movie called Acting the Movie.
It's also that it's not only just acting, it's the very specific movie you can watch with your dad and
universal male acting non-war movie.
And also, it's David Mamet who added him just for the movie, which is such a David Mamet move. The theater is better, except in this case, because it's me.
I want to put into the universe, if anyone's listening, I'm going to New York in early April. If you have a link to tickets to the Glengarry Glen Ross with Bill Burr and Bob Odenkirk,
it's going to be.
And it's going to be so sold out. It's going to be beyond. But anyways, that's playing while I'm there.
Whoa.
I just saw Bill Burr talking about it, and he's like, yeah, I did this. This sounds like everyone I know talking. He's like, I kind of mean the voices, but I kind of mean the pessimism.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they were like, so do you really want to do this? He's like, I did it because they asked. I'd do fucking Annie if someone asked me to.
Holy shit. First of all, let me say this.
Head.
Bill Burr as Daddy Warbucks.
Yeah.
I was picturing Annie.
Yeah. Even. Oh my
God. He's got Eddie Murphy and do both characters.
Oh my God.
I love the dinner fart scene.
Yeah. Tomorrow, fuck you, tomorrow.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I'm not as excited about it. I like talking about him. I'm not super excited. I don't know who is who. I didn't even. I just.
Is it out? It's not. I think
it starts on Broadway like March 8th, and I think the previews start March 1st. Because I was like, I got to see if this is running while I'm there.
I mean,
Kieran Culkin is also in it.
Yeah.
If you can believe they got another fast-talking guy.
I love the Kieran Macaulay Culkin postscript of Now, where it's like, Kieran is a reward-winning dramatic actor, and Macaulay is just hanging out.
Yeah.
It's sort of perfect.
Yeah, I don't want to look too deeply into like the who took the brunt of the parental situation growing up.
I think it would be Macaulay.
I think it would be
the
Macaulay.
One who seems tired.
The one who was friends with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't specifically walk into that buzzsaw. But he was just on Righteous Gemstones last season.
Yeah.
That's like
it seemed like a very cathartic character who was abandoned by his dad.
Exactly. It was just like he's just hanging out in this too. It's kind of was a very like meta scene.
I wish the best for him.
Yeah, it's just like it was nice to see. It's nice to see him be okay.
Any child actor, you just like, this looks like the worst thing you could possibly do.
I don't think any child should be allowed to act.
I shouldn't know anyone's name till they're 30.
This I completely agree. What I also do like though is Macaulay Culkin is a person with money that has not decided to get into politics. This is a new reframe for 2025.
Oh yeah,
it's like it's a whole new world. Like, oh yeah, anonymous billionaire who's done a bunch of horrible shit. He's not directly in politics, so I'm like, well, it's
he's just really I was just talking with my girlfriend about like I don't even know who. Someone came up and I was like, oh, I'm happy because I don't see that person every day.
Yeah.
They're just an actor or something. I'm like, look at that, I like them, and I don't know where they live or a thing about them, and that feels incredible.
Chris Pine. Don't know.
Love Chris Pine. One time I saw him on a magazine, a newspaper, and he's kind of like a hippie. And then I was like, you're sitting at that booth at the 101 Diner. I know that. I know where. I know where. That's by 3 highways. I know that, but I love that diner.
Yeah, and he's around my neighborhood, which
I think it might have been Chris Pine, actually, that we were talking about because I think we watched Dungeons and Dragons.
Very possible.
And that movie ruled.
That was very good.
It was a very good movie.
And I'm just like, how is this not? Is it because none of these people are forcing themselves into the zeitgeist that this isn't a massive franchise? It's based on the thing everyone knows about.
Well, this is the thing, that the problem of the loss of like DVDs and also video rental stores is those kind of movies you don't want to actually see in a theater. You want to watch in a basement with 4 friends.
And it also helps the spread of it so much. If someone's like, take this, you got to see that. And it's harder on streaming to be like, have you watched? It's like, I don't even like scrolling on there. Too many thumbnails.
I think the best time was when you could burn DVDs. That was the best. Like when we got The Office literally because someone's brother came back from England with a weird burned DVD.
Who's just like better at the computer than you then.
Yeah, at that point. And we literally were like, is this real?
Yeah.
Do we know if this is real?
I watched it, The Office, and I did watch Peep Show on a DVD that the cool kid in college get. You know what I mean? The kid who showed me Wet Hot, the kid who introduced Mr. Show to me, the kid who was then like, yeah, but this is the thing. And then you're like, he's like, you got to watch it like this and watch this show. And you're just like, oh, there's whole countries where they care about people being like funny.
Yeah.
And and it's just like, oh, I loved that stuff. And it did feel, it makes me feel so old. And I'm the oldest I've been. But it makes me feel so old. I'm 36.
Even now,
now.
At the beginning of that sentence, you were younger than you were at the end of it. How about that?
I would have to look that up. I feel like, and I don't think it's just film but this is not. We're not deviating too far from the Oscars. I just feel so much like there's something lost about everything being on one or two. You used to go to a website. I love this website. It's for this. I love this. It's for this.
Yeah.
And we used to have like this like separated, fragmented culture.
There's no time and place for anything. The reason why conspiracy theories are rampant, they're not anymore available. They were all over the internet 30 years ago, but there was a time and place where the shows you would see that discussed them were on at like 1 a.m. So you're like, we can't take this too seriously. I'm up too late eating chips.
Yeah, I was driving back from, I did shows up like Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Portland, and like Eureka and all. And you're going through that drive and you want to listen to conspiracy theory stuff if you're driving through like the woods.
The desert.
And so we downloaded all of these old radio shows.
Art Bell.
I think it was Art Bell.
Art Bell is the best.
And you're just like, this feels so. I wish that I could stumble into something like this on a radio.
Yeah.
At some point. And now I'm rewatching The X-Files, and it's like such nostalgia for just like, well, I guess we'll have to think about this instead of immediately at your fingertips having all of the information anyone's ever known about something.
Yeah,
the rabbit holes. Like you have to wait the next chapter of the rabbit hole before a week.
Even
or with the X-Files, never, because they don't pay off.
Yeah.
A bunch of loose threads.
The X-Files I love because because the great episodes are as great as anything, and the bad episodes are really good. Like I don't even mean their quality. I mean they suck and they're horrible. But then you're like, this is so. You're like an alien is making a computer say kill me in a car, and so she beats up a mechanic. Like you're like, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, there's a whole season where they're like, let's try it with the T-1000 guy.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Turns out no, it was both of them.
Yeah, it turns out it was like the most lightning in a bottle chemistry that's ever existed on television. Couldn't be replaced by whomever else.
It's also like so crazy. A friend of mine pointed this out, which was the introduction and availability of porn really changed television and movies because there was a whole aspect of like, hey, maybe on this show we will show you fucking them. Oh. They may fuck on camera.
You might see the top of a butt crack.
Yeah, you may see tits. We may be this might be the movie Wild Things. You know what I mean?
The immediate, but we were listening to Art Bell stuff. We were listening to like, and then he would talk to someone and we'd be like, I wonder what this, and you just, now it's all up as like a podcast, but you're seeing like, this is a radio show from this year where they talk about this and he talks to this guy that they had this alien, and you're like this unknowing, and this like now everything is debunked immediately, or everything is bunked, or everything is put in within context, and sort of this vagueness is lost, and this discovering is lost, and this feeling of sort of coming across something and getting it. But it is like having the DVD of Peep Show in the crappy plastic box that's been passed around. And Peep Show I think is my example because it's like it's so example. Good and it's popular enough that I think a lot of people had a similar experience of getting it when they were, like 25 years ago.
Well, even when you could, I don't know how much allegedly supposed illegal downloading you did, but that was an absolute gold mine in like college and early 20s. For the first time had the availability of like every show, but for free in a way that you never, like people don't understand. Like, no, HBO used to be like exclusive. Like they had the ability to make these cinematic shows because this period people were paying extra for the channel,
like almost the same amount it is now. But they were paying this in night. They like to watch The Sopranos was like $50 a month.
Yeah, to watch The Sopranos one time.
Yeah, we would watch The Sopranos one comedy special. That came out that 3-month period, and then a bunch of movies that would just be what movies on.
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day 4 times a week.
Yeah,
let's fucking
is the Manchurian Candidate looping? Like
that's Manchurian Candidate too, because I'm gonna say this. I will fuck with every version. Angela Lansbury, love it. Denzel Washington, kind of okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
Almost good.
When I think about the Oscars this year, nothing's jumped out to me to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're in Writers Guild or SAG or something?
No.
No, are you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so this is another transition as well. It's like
I know exactly what.
I'm a Writers Guild. We don't get screeners anymore.
They used to send you fun little DVDs.
We get a
Of course, I remember
DVD.
the best.
And you would get that from your friends who were in it. Even when you
Exactly.
Exactly, and you
Part
get
of my Christmas gift every year, allegedly, was that I would give my mom's favorite movies to her as that I was never going to watch.
And it's very cool to have a DVD screener of a movie that's in theaters.
Yes,
Yeah.
before it's even like some of them weren't even out in major theaters at that point. There was like one release.
And
in,
don't they also sometimes come in like elaborate ass like.
That was the Amazon ones because they could have the free shipping because it was like Amazon.
Yeah.
So like they would come in like the Mrs. Maisel would come in like a big shoebox or something
like the
that.
FYC
Yeah,
DVDs.
Yeah. But yeah, like it was not like I have shoeboxes full of like 5 years of DVD screeners because it was like yeah, if I ever want to watch Whiplash again, it's in there.
That's the Birdman year.
Yeah, and so like, but now it's just like, well, I guess I just get a download code that's good for 3 months, which I understand why they do that. Of course they should because it's wasteful to print a bunch of DVDs, but it still is nice to have like a physical piece of the movies.
With that code, you can't spread it around in the same way.
No, and it expires. So like, after the awards even go, it's just like, oh, I have to watch this, or I just never will watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. It all just doesn't feel as fun. The award ceremony, I haven't watched an award ceremony in years. I think I was watching when he got slapped, maybe because there was nothing to do, or maybe I turned it on because I think I was watching because I was like, this is a skit.
I was in Australia. I woke up from like a jet lag sleep because I had to appear on television. I had like 4 hours sleep, and I had the Oscars playing in the background in my room. And I opened my eyes to watch the slap, and I then had to like wake up and be like, "Did I dream that?
Right?
Or did that actually happen?" And it was the most otherworldly feeling of like, if that is a dream, that's a problem, and if this is real, I need to remember this.
It is, worst case scenario, only you saw it.
Yeah, whoa.
But it's just one of those things where I don't even know if we all overreacted enough. I like that we were all on the same team for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The internet was just like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, it's like we were all on the same team. Everyone thought it was insane. And that might have been the last time.
I got to say, like, I felt like, I don't want to be mean here, but I also felt like Chris Rock needed to do better material about it. That would have really...
I know. It was
not to be that guy, but it's like...
But it is sort of like...
He's not a club guy anymore, though.
That's the thing. You can...
He's not doing crowd work in theaters, you know?
Yeah, like, it's like one of those things where it's just... there was something...
He makes everyone wear the same shirt when they go in the theater, so his crowd work is consistent.
Oh, my God.
Put your shirt in this little bag that doesn't let cell phone waves come out of it. I mean, it was too long went by. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just...
collect yourself.
I bet he said something really, really funny about it that like 3 days later at the Comedy Cellar that no one saw.
Yeah.
I bet it was so funny and so insane. And then a year later, I'm like, yeah, I mean, we were all online.
Yeah, we like...
You know what I heard? I heard he went racial with it.
We just have Steve Carell reenacting the bit.
I've never enjoyed more a guilty turn of the eye. Just that was that was so sweet. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about the script.
All right.
I want to do this.
I want to contextualize the script. I had a vibe and a type of... So I was literally going for your 11, 12, 13, you're at a video rental store. It's a movie like from like Canon Pictures.
Yeah.
One of those things where they spent a lot of money on the poster.
Focus features early in the game.
Very, very good. Yeah, we're talking a Big Trouble in Little China.
Ooh.
Like a real, like, the director was going for a genre pick. There was so much cocaine at these meetings.
Right.
Someone approved this budget. Let's fucking go.
It almost looks like they had a National Lampoon poster guy for 2 hours to help.
That's exactly
Where you're just like, is that part of cartoon?
It's like it's like the people pretty accurate to your life, but a drawing of them.
Yeah, like as you're watching the movie, you're thinking, if I could have seen the movie the poster was advertising, this would be awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. What else? Anything? It can also all be a surprise.
Let's go through it. I'm trying to set up a insane homage to Terminator 2 Judgment Day using Hawk Tuah and Haley Welsh and Kid Rock as the...
we do need to let everyone know we're unaffiliated with Hawk Coin and Tuah Coin.
That does come up almost immediately. That is a real... It is the story of Hawk Tuah's redemption.
And we do need to say this is a complete unknown.
This is because she began as a complete unknown, Jono. You see?
Aha.
Great. Cast it however you'd like. You can also cast it as people come up if you would like, and just point to one of us.
Who wants?
I got Jono specifically because I figured Haley Welsh voice would be in it.
That's what I was going that way myself. Yeah, you're Haley Walsh.
I like how you spell her name too. Haley.
That's I think how she spells it. It's an insane spelling.
Yeah, she's Haley. Who's Welsh? Her name's Haley's Welsh, not Haley Welsh.
Wow.
It's not. That's not her name.
No, it's not.
Oh, thank God. You never know with these people. I also was way busier than I thought this week, so this was truly dashed off.
That's fine. That's fine.
One must dash.
Do you think that the Bob Dylan movie is not?
Before we continue, can I just say I fucking hate Bob Dylan.
Whoa!
I'm over it.
You're Canadian. You're a Neil.
That's
Young
right.
man.
I am a Neil Young man. God damn it! It's also just
time has only vindicated all of Neil Young's cantankerous opinions.
Thank you.
More and more.
Yeah.
And I do think I'm indifferent on Bob Dylan. Great songwriter, not someone I'm really into listening to.
Yeah.
I think Neil Young is so incredible.
Yeah.
But also Neil Young being grumpy about streaming and us all making fun of him for it, he was right.
Of course.
He's like, you don't make money and it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, what do you need any of that for? Now we're just like, man, no one's making money and this shit sounds like ass.
Here's the thing with Canadians is it's a very passive-aggressive, like Protestant supernova approach to everything, which is just someone like as you're doing something like, here's all the things you're doing it and you're doing it wrong. And they do it in a way where we're just like, well, how about fuck you? You know what I mean? Like, even if it's really helpful, you're just like, no, I'm not listening. And that's Neil Young's problem is he's always like, well, hippies are just drug obsessed and there wasn't actually any positive solutions. And that's
he's almost always been correct.
Yeah, the war
later.
in Vietnam did continue. I blame Joan Baez. And you're like, what the fuck, Neil?
Yeah. Even down to like, I remember seeing him one time just be like, I can't, if you can't listen to it, it sounds bad in my car. And he's like, the best speakers, he said the best speakers most people own are their car.
Yeah.
Which was correct.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and the streaming things sound bad in your car. So what are we doing?
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been on about this forever. He made his own iPod, the Pono.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if you want to read a nightmare, his autobiography, it is like he was like, you get one draft. And it is just
2 sentences, 80 pages.
It is just me talking about that period of time in my life. Some of it, he's like, this is what I met Stephen Stills. Other parts, he's just talking about his car for a full chapter.
He also does still write good music.
He does.
He comes out. I mean, I'm not re-listening, but I'm like, new Neil Young album will be on the thing he hates.
Yeah.
And I'll like listen to Spotify and be like, oh, damn. If this came out back then, it's like sort of like stand-ups where like, if this was your first thing, I bet you still would have been famous. Like if this was your first, there's no context of like what he's doing, but it's still good quality. You could sprinkle these in older albums, people might not notice.
Some of that's very true of dealing. Other things such as the Monsanto years, you're like, well, real swing and a miss there, eh, Neil?
At least he's trying.
When I go to the Blockbuster VD, and you're like, for fuck's sake.
Well, that would have sounded weird in the 50s for sure.
Just
1969 and 1972, he's talking about Blockbuster Video. All right, so
Kyle, you're gonna be Kid Rock.
Great. Don't like Bob Dylan.
I don't like Bob Dylan, and it's also like the whole period of time they're talking about
Robert Dilbert
is not true. It's not from like the whole thing of like everyone freaking out at the music festival wasn't because he went electric. It's because he only played for 15 minutes. So his management spread a different rumor because they didn't want people to know that he was like, hey, I just want to get high backstage.
Yeah. Now you just hear almost actually now people, it's gotta be weird to be a guy people go see to say they looked at you while you were alive, which is almost what Bob Dylan is now.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like touring or he'll do like a festival and people like I saw him one time
just to be like,
and
hey.
I'm just like it was not good, but I was just but it's kind of I saw him moving.
Yeah, I went and saw the Grateful Dead with John Mayer in Las Vegas, and it was a real like I did this.
He
once.
went with you to see them.
That's right.
Well, he's trying to get up at the
John.
comedy store there.
John, your body is Wonderland. And it was such a surreal thing because it's like, man, I love this band. And there are some members of it and John Mayer. And I'm like, and it's like, it's weird because I'm like, this rips. And I hate that this rips. Like,
Yeah. I think a lot of Grateful Dead, like big Deadhead people have been like, no, I love him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is exactly where John Mayer should be.
Yeah, fuck. Corduroy does work for my look. No.
It's like when people were talking about like Lynyrd Skynyrd and whatever Lynyrd Skynyrd is now, and Skynyrd's a band I grew up with. It's one of my dad's favorite bands. And people are just like, Skynyrd, they're big into this. I'm like, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Some guys who knew them have shirts, but it's like they all fucking. It's like, Buddy Holly's a Trump guy. You're like, he's definitely dead.
Yeah. It's one guy.
Well, he's a Trump guy in the sense that his plane went down and everyone died.
Which is why Skynyrd is also big Trump guys and Roberto Clemente.
About America, that's so insane because everyone's like, America's like, oh, rebellion, all this sort of stuff. Where the fuck is anyone just as a politician being like, when Joe Biden, who had Parkinson's, was in charge, not every 2 days was there an airplane crash? Like,
right.
It's so sad.
Like, what's the difference? Well, I don't want to be choosy, but our airplanes remain in the air.
I saw someone just being like,
COVID.
well, you guys are just noticing these airplane crashes because you're talking about them. And I'm like, this is the context?
Yeah.
You guys just noticed that that CEO died because you talked about it.
Yeah.
They were like, too many.
I can't stop talking about it.
If you shut your eyes, none of the planes crashed, and the pilots are like, that is what we did.
If you didn't know about the concept of gravity, you wouldn't know that gravity exists, but it still, in fact, is happening.
That's actually the first Haley Welsh line, so everybody knows.
This is very metaphysical. Great. Yeah, so we're thinking Canon Pictures, like insane Kurt Russell possibly playing Kid Rock. It's not necessary Kid Rock. Also, it may be a Quentin Tarantino. Just because you know this celebrity from your universe does not mean it's the same Kid Rock.
Haley Welsh is just fighting a stuntman on the lot in Hollywood.
Oh my God! Yeah, for some reason, making sure everyone really understands that Bruce Lee was a pussy.
It seemed like rewatching that movie. It seems like he wrote the whole movie to make you not like Bruce Lee. And you're like, what is that? You were like nicer to Charles Manson in this movie than
Quentin
you were
Tarantino
Bruce
even
Lee.
was like, it's weird that his family was weird about it. I'm like, no, it's not. They're like, yeah, your dad
called him a phony.
Yeah, your dad would have lost to a drunk guy.
You had like a drunk wife murderer. Go one-on-one with him and win. Half of the time.
Like, I love Tarantino, but I'm like, I want to see the draft after this.
I even liked that movie. And I still thought that was just all such odd thing.
Yeah, I was just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like he had one SNL sketch put into the center of his.
Yeah, the same thing at the end of that movie. I'm just like, did someone write down, like, some people got to be clipped, Quinn? And he's like, all right, get the squibs.
All right, a complete unknown, the most unknown. Anything else to preface besides all of this?
I didn't select any songs, so I may improvise and add those at random.
Love it.
Awesome. I don't know. I'm writing down who I'm playing.
I mean, I'm glad that you take it seriously.
I don't even
It's been in your bones the whole time.
I don't want that evidence. Yeah. My ball with the bones.
I think I really captured the drunk, chaotic energy that I want for Haley Hawk Tuah Welsh. I feel like Kid Rock's kind of two different characters at the same time. Anyway, let's get to it. All right, montage. The genuine footage of Haley Hawk Tuah Welsh talking into a microphone on 6th Street in Nashville. Obviously, I'm alluding to the clip that made her famous. This clip is shown and begins to degrade like the film is on fire or a film is melting. Why is there a period there? Back and forth to the footage of Haley Hawk Tuah Welsh saying she is going to bed. So what she said right after she disappeared from her cryptocurrency scandal. Blackout.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to bed.
Hey, no, stick to your own character.
Yeah, stick to your own character, sir. On the screen, the words "the end" should appear. Just trying to be arty. Interior: Kid Rock's Bar Wittaba, Nashville.
Is that real?
Don, absolutely not.
Okay,
but
are you sure it's not real?
I want it to be real so bad. I believe it's called the Kid Rock's Cowboy Bar, which fuck you.
That's so stupid.
Blah.
How he doesn't also have a photo studio called Kid Rock's I saw your picture today. This man is missing a business opportunity.
Is that one of his other songs
Yes.
I've never heard of?
Or even a School of Rock for kids called Kids Rock. I mean, there's just a lot of them right there he could do. But then that would involve him being talking to anyone with any nice intent.
He did a duet with Sheryl Crow called Picture that, I'm going to say this, not good. But I've listened to it a lot.
Really? Those two people with aligned thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. We both like money. Haley Hawk Tuah Walsh, 21, a gloriously drunk, newly minted online celebrity dressed like an RA ready to mock sorority sisters escaping a fire, is drunk and won drugs that should have been on, but hey, what do you want?
Yeah.
is standing on the bar screaming. Haley is covered in pink cocaine, also known as 2CB, and holding a bourbon bottle. She takes a swig of the bourbon and throws the bourbon bottle against the wall.
We're gonna be rich. I'm Haley. I'm Hawk Tuah. Nothing is go wrong. You made a scam. You ripped all your fans' money. Ripped off all your fans' money. Does not count if anyone doesn't see it. I'm in bed. I'm not the patsy for financial schemes. What's Kosovo?
I wanted to imply, as in Back to the Future, for no reason the terrorists are from Libya.
Oh, yeah.
Just an unnecessary country to have the terrorists.
What do you think,
from?
Philippines?
No.
Yeah. Oh, no, not the Austrians. Oh, pardon me. It's Kid Rock rises from behind the bar. He's equally covered in pink cocaine /2CB and holding a giant Bud Light. Kid Rock pulls a laptop from under the bar and places it on the bar.
Now that we done so much 2CB to kill a One Direction member, I can tell you who I is. I'm the American badass. I'm looking for this woman who knows about hawks. Gonna do a duet.
You mean Hawk Tuah? That is me. I don't know why I have an accent.
I like it. I like it. Good.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine her
I am
pandering.
not Hawk. Why do men keep thinking Hawk Tuah involves birds? Why do I think people? Why do I think people will think I'm a bird?
I am. I'm relaunching my career now that Trump left me for Elon. I was not dating Donald Trump, for the record. You that suck girl. Rap over my next song. It will be perfect. You don't have any scandals. Have we talked about this already tonight?
We probably have. Jesus Christ. I don't listen to hallucinations.
Why does everyone think I'm fake? This is just like Christmas at Mar-a-Lago. Eric wanted to hunt me and Don didn't. To hunt me?
Kid Rock is getting emotional.
Wait. I would have never thought that you were dating Trump until you just said just like that. I don't know if this is all the cocaine on the 11 Quaaludes I stole from the ambulance. Nate Bargatze has to stop him from swearing.
Look, what is dating? Yes, every 45 minutes. Or
Wait, are you the Kid Rock?
I'm the American badass.
Kid Rock goes to climb on the bar. He slips and falls. He leaps back up onto his feet.
American badass.
I thought I was doing all the pink cocaine myself, and a flare wall piece had come to life. I worked at Chili to go to once. I drank so many blueberry margs that I thought the mirror was a portal. So even I thought I'm being hunted by a Russian mob because they lost money on my Bitcoin scheme. You still wanted to do a song with me?
I called Kanye because using yay would be woke. So you were the next best option for a duet. We are two disgraced stars in 2024. So cold in 2025. So what are we going to do?
Kid Rock takes a very long chug of his beer.
Look, kid.
6
months ago, I was working at a factory. Maybe I will go back there. Are you sure you're real? Are you sure you want me to sing? I can't sing. I sang once at a minister, and the minister committed suicide. Granted, he was going to be outed for using the bridge money for riverboat gambling debts. Does pink cocaine make you chatty?
I can't work in a factory. I'm a famous musician. I also hate poor people.
I got to stop partying. I'm going to be a singer. I thought you were a crocodile with sunglasses come to life. I have to stop running from my problems.
I have to stop running from my problems.
Kid Rock is hit with a bolt of recognition.
I can write songs again. Pink cocaine worked. I'll fire up GarageBand.
Kid Rock flings open the laptop. Suddenly, the sounds of a drone are heard in the bar. A drone burst through the window. Kid Rock looks up from the screen, and then suddenly, a bullet shot from a drone-mounted weapon rips Kid Rock's head open. Haley is covered in his blood. Haley screams.
Oh, God, if this is real, who's going to clean this up?
The drone flies over to Haley. Kid Rock, covered in blood, rises up from the ground. Kid Rock draws a revolver. As if from nowhere, and opened fires on the drone. The drone crashes onto the ground of Bar Wittaba. The wound on Kid Rock's head is healing like he has a healing factor. Kid Rock,
Like he has a healing factor.
Kid Rock has a totally different vibe.
I'm a robot from the CIA. I've been sent to effect change in society, and those Kosovo terrorists you bankrupted have been drawn out to kill you. Fact that they sent a drone shows that you are a large target, and they have powerful friends.
I knew you were not real. Wait, Dougie with the head tooth used to tell me about Alex Jones while attempting to looks at my boobies, and he never mentioned robots.
Al is with us.
Kid Rock winks, and his eye falls out of his head.
We need to leave.
Where are we going?
You will be taken to an island and guarded. Those Kosovo terrorists could strike at any time. You need to be disappeared.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Do not try and escape because what I said seems smothering.
I promise.
Do not try and escape because what I said seems smothering is so funny.
Yeah, we've really taken a turn towards Rick and Morty season 3. Haley leaves. The sound of a window being broken is heard. Kid Rock has just stood there.
She totally escaped.
Kid Rock walks out of sight, but it says side to check. Kid Rock walks back. He pounds his fist on the bar. Some drywall falls. Damn. Oh, sorry.
I like that you picked to be Kid Rock just right there.
Yeah, my favorite line. Cut 2. Exterior, alleyway, night. Haley's face is painted like Catman from Kiss. Haley is wearing an expensive tuxedo jacket, Union Jack underwear, and nothing else. She is out of breath, running down the alley. Oh, that should have been she, but it says he stops, out of breath, and hunches over for a moment. She then lights a cigarette and is restored.
Time to...
Haley realizes he, God damn it, is stood at the end of the alley and is trapped. A single tear rolls down her cheek. Kid Rock, now in a suit with his hair in a ponytail, emerges from the shadows. Kid's suit is perfect, and his hair is in a bun so tight a diamond could form. When Kid sees Haley crying, he draws a gun.
Haley, are you hurt?
Spiritually, I'm fine. Physically, I can't go to that island. I need freedom. I need to be famous again. I need to find out which member of Slipknot I am dressed as.
I know this sounds crazy coming from someone you have escaped from 3 times, but you have to trust us to keep you safe.
I think this movie is so much better than the Bob Dylan Complete Unknown.
I mean, I'm riveted.
Come on.
Yeah. Talking about going electric, that's how I felt.
Yeah, seriously. Where... I thought when Danny McBride emerged onto the basic cable scene, we were going to get a lot more fun 80s action insane movies.
Yeah.
We've gotten none.
Few.
Think the MCU is any solve to a Kurt Russell vehicle from 1989?
What has there? It is crazy. I'm like, what are fun action movies? I'm like, well, there's the last third of Pineapple Express.
Yeah, there was that Snowpiercer movie that really got really Anne Randy at the end.
Yeah, and that wasn't like goofy.
Yeah, like that was just making like, well, I'll just go for a walk.
Yeah, and it was so subtle.
Yeah, like very subtle. Bright was kind of trying to be that at moments,
but Bullet Train, maybe?
Bullet Train was kind of fun.
Yeah,
and had some fun stuff. And you're like, they're just interesting little interactions.
Right. And then they have like whole new universes of insane violence. Like, oh yeah, I totally did. And then John Wick.
Yeah, like here's
like John Wick is like too artsy in a way.
And successful.
And too emo.
What I want is from the Denzel Washington Equalizer.
Yeah.
But I want him just to wink at the camera every once in a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like I literally want Denzel Washington Equalizer, occasional Wesley Snipes Blade.
But like 9 people trying that every year.
Insane. Yeah. But it doesn't like.
I want a bunch of different ones of those. I was just talking with someone about Red Sparrow. Wasn't that Jennifer Lawrence trying to become like a super?
Yeah.
Because I remember everyone was like, why can't. They were like, there's always, anytime there's Daniel Craig was sad, everyone's like, well, they'll have a new James Bond. And then people are like, well, there'll be a woman James Bond. And then everyone's like, just make your own thing with a woman. And then they did. And everyone's like, well, we're not going to watch it. We just really wanted you to do it. And I was like, well, that could be fun. I mean, I think Jennifer Lawrence is hilarious and like kind of fun.
Completely.
And
it's in the same,
could do fun. Just make more of that until some stick.
In the same way the consultants' approach to like righting the wrongs of certain Hollywood that resulted in the all-female Ghostbusters, which is like, it was a bad movie because the director was overwhelmed and made the wrong decisions, and everyone's like, women aren't funny. And you're like, are you insane? That was just badly written, you assholes.
I like The Accountant is another one they're trying to do, but I never saw it, but there's another one. I haven't seen the first one, but there's another one.
Just saw it.
Where
it was pretty good.
Ben Affleck
like,
has glasses.
He's autistic in it. Spoiler alert.
We're saying the same thing.
How dare you?
And he's like, honestly, he's good as that guy because he's, doesn't have to.
Isn't he bifocals? I can't.
Also, does anyone remember it was like, it was the Assassin movie. It came out like 6-8 months ago. David Fincher. It was like a new David Fincher movie on Netflix.
Was it? No.
Was that Hitman?
No. It wasn't David Fincher, was it? Was it because it was with
Paul Bettany, maybe is the.
I'm thinking of a completely different movie. With the guy who was Magneto.
Yeah, that Michael Fassbender. Maybe it was that is.
I don't remember if it was David Fincher, but I remember liking it.
I just wanted.
And I was like, this is kind of fun, just watching a guy. Also, he's not that. People were mad that he wasn't great at it. Like, you just want a guy who's really good at being an assassin to just kill everyone and get away with it. Like, that's such a boring movie.
The Killer.
Yeah.
Who
could have ever forgotten that title?
I wanted him to be a bit more fun as a kid. It was just
he wasn't
so
super fun.
Stern.
I think when we made fun movies for a while, everyone kept wedging iPods into them, and so
fucking.
I don't need to watch anyone. I like the click wheel.
Nothing better than the two weirdest sound cues: the click wheel in an iPod in certain movies, and then smoking a cigarette, which sounds like they're burning a bunch of leaves. Is so weird.
I like. There's Baby Driver. This movie, I like to call it. Everyone holds up as a person, and that one had fun. But the click wheel, it was all about the click wheel.
Yeah.
It is the sound. I just not to get too.
Are you ready for a controversial opinion?
Sure.
I hated Baby Driver, and here's why. I could feel how proud Edgar. He was every movie.
Well, it seemed like he was happily making the movie you wished people made.
Yeah, but it just didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? It's like the difference between a hamburger and a McDonald's burger. Like, if I wanted McDonald's, I would want it. It just didn't.
There
work
is
for me.
something to when characters are called like Mr. Crazo or something, where you either pull it off or you don't. Or the silent guy, the weird sort of very, very cartoonish characters.
Weird.
Either get pulled off or not.
That kind of weird thing of like, I genuinely believe John Carpenter was like, this movie could win an Academy Award when he was making Big Trouble in Little China. He's just insane.
Right.
That's what I want more than like, we're making a fun genre movie. It's like, no, I want you to think you're.
I need you to
Citizen
seriously
Kane.
swing as hard as you possibly can at something that lands into campy enjoyment.
Yeah, like I need the original Flash Gordon movie.
Roadhouse, the original one, took itself so seriously,
and it works
to the point where
good.
now, if you watch it for the first time, you're like, why does everyone like? You're like, people don't talk about it like that because they talk about it like the second one's trailers looked.
Yeah,
right.
But you watch Roadhouse. I love Roadhouse.
It's phenomenal.
And you watch it, and you're like, this movie. Patrick Swayze is literally just like, I guess I'll win an Academy Award for playing this bouncer, and you're just like, I can't even believe they hit record.
My favorite part of I like pretend movie genres. I like to like categorize by weird things, and here's my favorite movie genre. I smoke cigarettes, so this character is smoking cigarettes, which is Roadhouse. There is no reason Dalton should smoke cigarettes, but Patrick Swayze, I guarantee, is like, look, I smoke a lot. Yeah. He's smoking. Well, what? That's hard for continuity.
That's how I was with Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, exactly correct. Yeah.
Couldn't stop puffing.
Yeah, I want to snitch.
But I do. Yeah, there is something to. You can tell. I liked the action, definitely the driving and stuff in Baby Driver. So I don't really remember anything about it. It's like such a forgettable thing. I've had no desire to rewatch it versus like Drive, which is not the same thing at all. But Drive is like, did you know we're the only serious movie ever made?
That's the thing. Guys, we took a comedian, and he's just pretending to be bad. Yeah, Jono, I'm glad you're sat down, or you would actually have buckled knee-wise.
About Albert Brooks?
Yeah. Also, can I just say this about Albert Brooks? Release your goddamn stand-up animals. I know he does. Your albums. It's so annoying.
Are they like not available anywhere?
They're only
this is
available-
crazy. The only place you can find him is at Neil Young's house.
Yeah, you have to go to you have to drive in an electric car through the fucking redwoods.
The only way to listen to him is to plug into Neil Young's Tesla charger, which I'm sure he regrets having.
Yeah, he has a Tesla charger, but it distributes gasoline somehow, and he's like, "That's good."
Yeah, it is such a. But everyone who likes the things that we like Edgar Wright, who is not too. He's around our age, isn't he? A little bit older.
I think so, yeah.
But he likes this stuff. They grow up and get to make. Because I mean, Edgar Wright's made.
The Cornetto trilogy,
right?
Yeah,
these are the best things. These are the best things.
but-
Yeah. These are the best things that exist. There's It's like one of the best cop and one of the best
zombie
and one of the best friendship bro movies that have ever existed.
And the problem is the world's end. Not it was like
It was a little bit of a whatever Godfather.
Are
3
you
for
feeling
me,
it
but
too far?
like-
Like he knew too much of what was happening.
yeah, like it was a bit like we don't need this.
It's sort of like if you strike gold twice, just dig in a hole.
Yeah.
You think you'll probably find it again when you go out.
Yeah, like it's just like I'm like it was also not as strong a genre. Like the reason why zombie.
Yeah, I guess
works,
I did just sit here and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
And then the one where they're friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You remember the one?
But I liked it.
It was like
It was watchable.
It was also the weird. It was a release the same time as the End of the World Seth Rogen movie,
Oh.
Oh yeah.
which is the weirdest rewatch of your. I watched it for the first time in COVID, and it's like, who gave these friends $80 million?
You really
to
wonder
chill?
what happened to Hollywood, and then you're just like,
Seriously.
oh, we let these guys riff as themselves
Yeah.
for $100 million.
Like
Yeah.
they might as well just like put that money in a fucking bonfire.
9 years
or watch
earlier, that
them,
would have
like,
been
have a
2
bonfire.
Funny or Die sketches.
I think it was supposed to be, but VC Capital got to the point where they're like, just put it in a movie. Babe.
They were
Like,
literally like, who
Yeah,
make
yeah.
money? Seth Rogen make money? Make
Yeah.
him be him twice.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen made a movie for $5 million that made us $500 million.
How do we have him make Project X?
Yeah, exactly. Can he be in a pottery spinning show?
I think that there's something like people get older and make the things that they grew up loving, and it's hard whether or not it hits like that.
Yeah.
Like Baby Driver is obviously an ode to a million things he grew up absolutely loving. There is also, and this was in The Killer too, where I'm just like, we have to decide if how many times we let auteur directors love the Smiths.
I gotta tell you this.
Like every single time someone pulls a real, it's like, I worked at Apple. You can put other albums on iPods.
You can't though.
Every remaining click-wheel iPod is only the Smiths songs you know.
It's a fucking nightmare because it's also I lived in England for 6 years, and so it's also like I can't escape the goddamn Smiths, and it's always just the same 3 songs, like the Queen is Dead song, the one off the other one, and then the other one, and then I hate it.
It
Be
is
the Talking Heads, you asshole.
when he pulled, because that's what he's listening to in The Killer, and that's also what he's listening to some in Baby Driver. It just feels like it keeps coming up, and I'm like, yeah, we know you like him, but with that kid, he's 19.
Yeah,
You know
His
what I
name's
didn't like
Child.
about Baby Driver?
Go ahead.
No babies driving.
That's not true.
You son of
He
a
was
bitch.
stunted, Jono.
First of all, say spoiler alert before you ruin movies. What next? Escape from New York. What are you gonna do? You gonna reveal what happens to the Duke? You prick.
See, this is why Jono's such a big fan of Jurassic Park movies, because there keep being them in it.
Yeah, exactly. I want it literal.
We have to take a break.
This is not the world that is Jurassic.
You know what one actually kind of pissed me off though? It was the movie It Comes at Night.
Was that about the one about the flu?
Yes, but like the fact
There's a
that
tiny bit. I'm so sorry. Oh, you have a full
I saw
tale.
it.
like
my
the fact that I
football
thought it was like, oh, this is going to be a horror monster movie that'll be really fun, and then it wasn't. And I was like,
Their ad. This is one of these movies where their marketing was so good you were let down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
the marketing to that movie was incredible.
Yeah.
And this was at the peak of I think indie horror revival
yeah,
Yeah.
renaissance. That was sort of like Ari Aster blossomed out of, but also all of the tinier films. Every year they'd be like 9 more movies about a weird thing that followed people, and everybody be like, shit, they keep being good.
It's also
Right.
because you can make those movies so cheaply with digital
I
cameras.
mean,
Right.
you either have literally have Thor in your movie or a $3.5 million horror movie you hope makes $50 million.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. You've got a guy that is Joss Whedon who's ghostwriting it under another name because of all the accusations.
No, I love Was Jeedon. You haven't seen
Yeah, come on.
Listen, he like the real twist in a horror movie is that he's right behind you.
Yeah, watch out.
The camera spins and he's standing behind it, and we all jump scare.
Yeah. I can't, but when people are like Joss Whedon's a monster, and I'm like, yeah, you guys have clearly not worked in show business. A guy who is that in charge is going to be a monster. That guy has convinced so many people he is nice just to them. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mon Dieu. That's right. We will never appear in the first Avengers.
You know what the
Go ahead.
The budget for Get Out was only $1 million.
Come on. And they got Bradley
the scariest
Whitford?
part is it was doll hairs.
Okay. Wait, what?
They paid him in doll hair.
They paid him in dollars.
Yeah, that's how they made Megan.
Oh, fuck you. I'm leaving
Just
the
like
podcast.
every time I see Sabrina Carpenter, it's like that's just Megan, though, right?
No, yes. I don't even like dislike Sabrina Carpenter.
I guess,
I'm just
same,
like,
it's
but
just
no,
like-
that's just Megan.
That's just a robot doll.
It's a very good point. I never have considered it this way. And then I watched
I've never seen them in the same room at the same time. Also,
That's
Here's
why
my
she has
situation.
such vague expressions.
So I saw Get Out the best way possible is that I thought it was going to be a comedy because I was like, well, it's the guy
Jordan
from Key and
Peele.
Peele.
Yeah.
I was living in England. There was no commercials for it.
Right.
So, and that was crazy because I was like, this is not fun.
Yeah, I thought Keanu was going to be a horror movie. I saw Get Out the night it came out, and I was one of like 3 white people in the movie theater, and it's the literal most fun I've had besides maybe when we saw Endgame or Infinity War in movie theaters, where it's like that was very fun because everyone's like, but Get Out was people were literally like screaming like, "This is not smart." Like don't. And I'm just like, I had the most fun I've ever had in my entire life seeing Get Out at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, the BAM in Brooklyn.
okay, yeah.
I saw the Notorious B.I.G. biopic in 2007. It was my friend and I were the only white people in the theater. It was the greatest movie experience I've ever seen in my entire life. When Biggie was shot, a guy stood up and threw his full soda at the screen. And that
guy has really avoided spoilers.
It was. I thought about it so much. That guy waited the whole movie. He was like, when they fucking take Chris, I got it.
Well,
and
that's why they call it a Coke freestyle.
Shut down the podcast. I'm eating the cameras.
We got a couple games we got to play, and then we're gonna get out of here. This first game is called Before and Afters.
Before and Afters.
How this works is 2 movies have been smashed together into one movie. I'll read you the smashed together plot. You have to guess the smashed together title. For instance, you can see over here we have Conclave Air, which would be Con Air and Conclave. Shout out to Sumi Umi, who submitted that one on the Discord. And I'll read the smashed together plot. So I have a bunch of titles. I read the plots. You guess the titles of them. You can work together, or you can compete against one another.
Work together. What do you say?
Sure.
Everyone always starts
I
with
say, not him not knowing I'm going to betray him.
You son of a bitch. Who's talking in these headphones?
Number 1. 2 American backpackers in the UK are attacked by a large creature, and one dies while the other in the hospital realizes he's slowly turning into a corrupt stock trader in the early 90s.
Oh, it's American Werewolf in
Paris and
in London and Greed?
No, it's Wolf of Wall Street.
American Werewolf of Wall Street in London.
That is correct. American
Yes.
Werewolf of I can't read that one again. It's too long of a title. American Werewolf of Wall Street in London.
Here's my question. Have you rewatched The Wolf of Wall Street? It does not age well because you watch it and you're like, so wait, Jordan Belfort's the good guy? Like,
Yeah.
like it really.
It is one of those, where people are like, you guys got the wrong message from, because kids like, especially like, if you call them like film bros, right?
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
vague turn, they all took the wrong message from the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm like, well, it seems to be Scorsese's message.
Yeah, the message.
It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like a movie like American Psycho or a
Yeah.
movie where you're like, or even like There Will Be Blood,
Yeah.
where I would say most fun character is clearly wrong and
Yeah.
it ruins them.
Yeah.
This movie, you're like, he seems to not regret any of it.
Yeah.
And now I know the real guy worked on this movie with him.
Yeah.
He has a cameo.
With one of the biggest financial frauds of all time.
Yeah, but that movie was paid for by a financial fraud.
Oh, I thought you just meant Hollywood as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
No, like,
And that movie
yeah.
made no money.
Joe Low, the Malaysian one scam.
Yeah.
I remember, wasn't Zoolander trying to kill him? That's the Malaysian Prime Minister. I just rewatched Zoolander. I just rewatched
I know
Zoolander.
what you did, and I wanted to lean into that beautiful pause. That was so wonderful.
Yeah, I love.
And you'll kill the
Zoolander so
Malaysian
much.
Prime Minister.
Oh boy.
Just maybe the best thing Andy Dick's ever done.
Yeah, absolutely. What is
he is the masseuse
He's like,
who's
yeah.
like whacking at Zoolander's boner.
Yeah.
His boner that like bends and moves.
Yeah.
It's such a funny movie.
It's crazy that no one liked the second one. Like, it is crazy that it was just like we were like,
It's like kind of fun.
too long.
I didn't see the second one kind of on purpose because I still revere the first one.
That's
so much.
The first one holds up. I watched it for the first time in a while, like 3 weeks ago. Bailey had never seen it. Was cracking up the whole time.
It's great. And that's why I've also not watched the second one. As I was like, enough people were like, not so great. And I was like, well, then it doesn't exist in my world.
It was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And I laughed a few times, but nothing. I mean, also, it's one of the guys, Minkus, who dies in the gasoline fight accident,
Oh, yeah.
is Alexander Skarsgård. And it's so. I think it's Minkus. I can't remember which. They all have like ridiculous names. But he dies in the gas fight. He's one of the 3 models that lives with Derek Zoolander. And I'm like, this is wild.
Wild.
But he is. If a Skarsgård isn't looking weird, they look like male models. They have chiseled, interesting face, and it was he's so young. It's John Voight as his dad when he takes his mining helmet off and still has the big hair.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I got the
so
black
funny.
light. You were down under the ground for a day.
The merman commercial is. There's a few moments where I think Owen Wilson breaks, and they leave it in. As there's a moment where they're like all confessing after they had the orgy,
Of course.
and it's the 3 of them. It's Matilda and Zoot Derek and Hansel, and Matilda's like, because Hansel's like, "What's your deal? You're like too tightly wound. Like, but what? Why do you hate male models?" And then she's like, "Well, growing up, I was always the fat girl." And then Derek Zoolander goes, "Ew," and like Owen Wilson. I mean, it like is so convincingly Owen Wilson breaking, and not like him supposed to be laughing, because it's such a different laugh than the rest of it has.
Such a good, what a wonderful movie.
Oh, I do love Zoolander. It's, you never know. You're like, I'm gonna watch. It's also the movie that came out like right when 9/11 happened.
Came out on 9/11.
Because you watch 9/11 footage, and there's Zoolander billboards in the financial district up everywhere. So like the tower's coming down, and you see Ben Stiller like leaning.
Always remember to blue steel. Never forget.
Blue steel can't melt. Yeah.
Or jet fuel can't
Can't
melt
melt
blue
steel.
steel beams.
Number 2. A deeply paranoid and anxiety-ridden man is on an epic odyssey to get home to his overbearing mother in an effort to become the frontman of one of the greatest rock bands of all time.
Oh no, this is one of those Ari Aster ones that I did not see.
I haven't seen. I assume it's this and like Spaceman or the Elton John story, or
the front man of a band though.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody.
I don't know.
Something. It's like the name of the Ari Aster one. It's Joaquin Phoenix. It's like
No idea.
something is not okay or something like that.
Something was not okay with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, the editor. The editor of that movie was not okay with it, apparently.
You do know the original script. The greatest thing about that script was originally it ended, Freddie Mercury died in the middle, and then the last 45 minutes was about how Queen continued to be a great band and everyone
It was like the guy from Bad Company joins them, and then whoever their frontman is now joins them.
and it's just fine. And they Sacha Baron Cohen walked off the movie being like, you have to change this. People will go insane.
They didn't want to discuss AIDS, which the movie still danced around like any day. But yeah, they were just like, the movie was 20. It's such a funny thing to happen. Like the opening is Freddie Mercury dying.
It's insane. I wanted that movie and Rocket
in a plane
Man.
wreck.
Yeah, it's weird.
Just the other day.
Yeah. On September 11th.
You guys are close with this one.
It's like Claude is not okay or something.
We're looking for Bohemian Rhapsody is Afraid. You knew them.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for forgetting all 6 hours of Beau is Afraid.
I've never heard of Beau is Afraid, and I don't want to know about Beau is Afraid. I'm
You have
done.
a bumper sticker that says everything I've ever learned about Beau is Afraid
Yeah.
was against my will.
I am against Beau is Afraid, and I vote. That's my tote bag.
2 more.
Ooh.
In this retelling of Jesus' crucifixion, a married couple's son falls out of window to his death while the couple had sex in the nearby room.
Oh, that's like it's that one super dark.
Eric Clapton song.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like, if you know my name. No, it's weird upon revisiting Tears in Heaven. Not a good song.
No, and also weird. It was called Tears on the Sidewalk.
Yeah.
No, is that
No,
true?
but I mean, Eric Clapton, the human being who he is, I don't feel that bad about. I mean, I feel bad about the kid dying. I don't feel bad about that.
Yeah, I don't feel
Poking a little fun at old. I
don't feel bad.
Slow hand was what he called himself when he couldn't reach for his kid fast enough.
Yeah. Take that, Eric Clapton. You're super weird and racist. Super weird and racist. There's like a famous story in Birmingham where he got very upset because there's too many black people in the front row. I want you to know this was told to me by a bartender very late at night. So also maybe not.
No, I
true.
also think it was at like a blues festival.
That's even
There.
better.
Why
Wow.
he's just like this. He's like, who is this for?
The Black Music
Yeah.
Festival.
What the hell are all these black people doing here at this blues festival? I thought I was expecting a bunch of British white people.
I thought it was just gonna be that Baba D song.
Yeah. Aren't we doing, traditional blues?
In
Hank Williams.
this retelling of Jesus' crucifixion, a married couple's son falls out a window to his death while the couple had sex in a nearby room.
Passion of the crit, like it's like crit. I just don't know what the other movie is.
I know the movie. It's like it's got like Willem Dafoe. It's like one of those really dark, twisted Swedish directors.
Oh yeah, like
It's
that.
the one.
Yeah, right.
Oh fuck, what is that movie called? I've never seen it. I've heard of it. I don't know.
yeah. I've seen like the first 10 minutes of it.
You gotta give it a guess.
Passion of the Crucifix.
Even a better fit than that.
Oh no, is it the guy who sang by who did Human Centipede? Okay, whatever.
I love that was like a guess question.
a real life
that was real
doctor.
good. That was so good.
That was a real life doctor that did that.
It's a documentary.
Believe it.
We are looking for the Passion Antichrist.
Oh. What was the
good.
other movie?
That's good.
Antichrist.
Yeah,
and the Passion
Antichrist?
of the Christ. I googled today what's the plot to Passion of the Christ. Because I will just Google what is the plot to, and it'll give me and I kind of like piece together, But I googled what is the plot to Passion of the Christ, and it didn't give me. It was just like, it's from the thing.
Do you know that like this is a true but very horrible story? But when I was in college, my roommate and I were like, "Let's do a drinking game to Passion of the Christ, where we drink wine every time Christ bleeds."
Oh yeah, you're gonna be
And
hammered.
we both passed out.
The crazy part is,
halfway
didn't you
through.
guys start just drinking water?
We were hydrating, and then
Yeah.
lo and behold,
That's where he gets you,
Yeah.
that trickster. Final one. We see 2 days in the lives of 4 real estate salesmen who are becoming increasingly desperate to keep their jobs after corporate sends a high-pressured motivator who is only 7 years old.
one more time.
It's Glenn Baby Boss.
Yeah,
Glenn Boss, baby, is correct. Glenn Boss, baby, is correct. Both Alec Baldwin.
That's exactly what I connected it immediately. I was like, oh, I got this.
I was
Finally,
happy we were talking about it organically earlier.
a movie title with baby in it that has a baby in it.
Yeah. thank you.
Glenn Boss, baby driver.
Yes.
Shout
ready?
out to Keeks on Camera on Instagram, the Mystery Kid, Bubs, and Eternal on our Discord, who sent some of those titles over.
Hey.
I love
right
them.
there. Thank you so much, everybody.
Are you ready for a controversial hot take?
Yes.
Alec Baldwin's best movie, The Shadow.
Oh, you know what? That was fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. Just so
I just
90s
every time we're
kitsch.
talking about a
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey movie or something, you're like, you want to hear a controversial take, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. I'm on his side.
I like his YouTube.
Yeah. I think, my God, I really enjoyed that every Christmas for 3 years he was just like, I'm going to go for it again.
I want to, because he's still making these side, like a horizontal, like he made one about Guy Pearce the other day.
Yeah,
where he's,
'cause-
Guy Pearce, you coward. And he like, I think he would get more people to watch him if he was doing it vertically with like the little microphone headphone up to his ear walking down a sidewalk.
I also just want to see because like it was rampant drug abuse. That was the thing. It's like he was like notorious for like fat ass lines on the bar of every on like the physical bar of every club in Soho. Where's that Kevin Spacey was online? Let's go. Just hopped up on coke, being like, Guy Pearce's actual phone number is.
I unfortunately watched the video that Kevin Spacey, and he was just like, Guy Pearce, you don't like me? Then what do you have to say about the time we hung out 26 years ago? It's like so funny.
Guy Pearce says we were never friends. Well, what about that paid job where we spoke
If
to each other?
we were never friends,
Yeah.
why were we in a movie together once?
Yeah. We spoke to each other through the interpretive, pre-prepared lines of a writer, like I do with all my friends.
That's so funny.
Get my bags.
We got a couple more games we're going to play.
All right.
This game is called Build the Perfect Movie.
Build a perfect movie.
I was really glad that I waited for that Build a Perfect Movie. I thought, I was like, feels like there's something coming. And
Yeah. How this game works is I'll give you a category.
Oh, yes.
You're competing against one another in this one. Currently, the score is 3-2, John.
Thank you. For who?
You.
Yeah, fuck off.
I'll give you a category. You have to pick 2 movies from that category whose Rotten Tomatoes score add up to as close to 100 as possible without going over. Price is Right rules apply. You'll each pick your first movie. I'll give you your score. You can pick your second one accordingly. The category is going to be kind of those action-y movies from the 80s and 90s. You have to pick 2. John, you'll pick first because you are winning. And then, Jono, you'll pick your first movie after that. So just your first one, and then I'll give you the score, and then you can try and pick your second one without going over. And this one, actually, I forget, we'll turn the volume down, a little anxious building background music.
My first movie, I would like it to be Under Siege 2.
Under the Siege, Dark Territory.
I know that. I think it's Dark Territory because it's the one on the train.
Yeah,
Where they zoom
Cruise
in on
Control
the
is
boob.
speed.
Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Cruise Control when they're on the boat.
Which if they'd known about that in the first one, would have solved it all.
Yeah. Oh my God! It is Speed 1 is a weird watch now where you're just like, what? No, just.
There's a lot of rational ways to end it.
Yeah. You could just you just get it to a place where the radio doesn't transfer. You know what I mean? Put it underground.
No one takes the bus. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Also in LA, it really sold you on fun characters being on the bus.
All right, Jono. First movie, kind of one of those fun actiony ones that you like from 80s, 90s. I'll say today too. We know what we're thinking.
I'm gonna go with Last Action Hero.
Oh, I also was thinking about a Last Action Hero.
This is the strategy of go low before you go high.
And Last Action Hero is like one of the best of the like the line when you're doing things type of, you know what I mean? He's like very like quippy during the fight.
You know what's crazy about Last Action Hero? It's the reason why we don't have a Hans and Franz movie.
Oh, because Schwarzenegger was supposed to be.
It wasn't All of My Letters?
Yeah, I think exactly. It was all of those nude letters you said. And it was because he was like, I have to be taken seriously to do not want to joke about me.
Oh, no.
But now, like, looking back, Schwarzenegger, what made him so great versus, I would say, like, The Rock, right? And what's making, like, Batista very great, and even, like, John Cena, who I think is doing a really, really good job in things, is they're working with challenging directors and pieces. And Schwarzenegger was like, fucking put me in this thing with the best like he's like Terminator, and it's T2, and he's like, let me work with people who like are actually gonna try and make me do a little more.
John Milius I would hate to hang out with, but is such a good writer director. Like if you just want a vision, like Conan the Barbarian should not work as a movie.
And Schwarzenegger is we're talking about like the committing really hard thing and seeing what comes out, and I think he even does that in his Last Action Hero. You know what I mean? All right, here's our percentages. Under Siege 2 Dark Territory, 35%. So you're looking for a 65. Cannot go over. Last Action Hero, what do you think it is?
I'm saying like 15.
42.
Yeah.
42%.
No. Wait, this critics or audience?
Critics.
Oh, wow.
So you're looking for a 58. John, you'll pick first because you have the lower number.
Thank you. I'm going to go. This is a little saucy pick, fellas.
Okay.
I'm going to go with The Last Boy Scout.
Ooh, I saw that recently on, was the marathon of, what's his name?
No, I like how the sentence you've said so far.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Bud Black. Oh, no, that's the Padres' old manager.
Shane Black.
Shane Black.
Stuff.
Yeah. Because that was, I believe, his directorial debut, perhaps?
Maybe. I'd never seen it.
Tony Scott directed this movie. So I think it was just
controversial opinion. I like Tony Scott more than I like Ridley Scott.
Ooh.
I mean, Top Gun is so good.
Top Gun is so... Is it? That's Tony Scott, is it not? Yeah, that's right.
Ridley Scott's Top Gun, there's like no planes in it.
Exactly. It's just him explaining slowly why planes are stupid.
Jono, 42%, looking for a 58 or less.
This is a deep cut pull because it can't be too good or popular nor a critical hit, but like is right around that whatever good movie. Remo Williams.
Ooh, I've never heard of this, so it doesn't count.
Disqualified.
You are wrong.
It's the It's starring a guy whose name I don't know, but is in everything.
It'll be like T.J. Walsh or something, one of those guys.
Fred Ward.
Fred Ward.
And he is in lots of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like his vehicle.
I was like, Wilford Brimley is also in it. I'm like, this guy is in everything, and I can't remember his name.
The diabetes commercials, being a weird guy with a mustache.
All right, here we go. Let's recap our scores. Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, 35%. The Last Boy Scout, 46%. So we're looking at an 81.
Whoa.
Solid.
81.
Solid.
Solid movie. Last Action Hero, 42. Remo Williams, 41. 83% for Jono, who takes this game.
You
Yeah.
dirty dog.
Takes this
Good
game.
for
3
you.
points for Jono.
Oh, that must feel the sweetest plum.
Going into our last game. Our last game is guess what movie Kyle's dad is describing, having only watched the trailer and never having heard of the movie.
Oh, great.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Guess what movie trailer Kyle's dad is describing, having only watched the trailer and never having heard of the movie game.
How this game works is my dad watches a movie trailer. He describes what he sees in that movie trailer. You have to guess what movie that is a trailer for. It can be any movie ever. Let me just get it triggered up here. All right, here we go.
Okay. A close-up of his eyes, and they just say the actor's name. I know this guy. They're saying this actor is a genius. He said people will do anything in front of him, and he's not even there. He wants to know how that guy got his job, and he's asking about a gun. Some quick shots of shooting on a range. More range shots. He is saying she is the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. Now working out. That is certainly a new haircut.
Oh boy.
Well.
Oh, I've heard that line before. These old trailers really list out every actor at the end, huh?
Jono?
Fall Guy?
It is not Fall Guy.
G.I. Jane.
It is not G.I. Jane.
Shooting on a range.
Yes?
Point Break.
It is not Point Break. Fuck. I love the bells just now coming into play.
Yeah.
Jono?
SWAT?
It is not SWAT. These old trailers really list out all the actors' names.
Dirty Harry.
It is closer. I'd say warmer than SWAT.
The Expendables.
Colder.
That's colder. SWAT was before the Expendables, you fool.
I know.
Clearly, you don't know mid-2000 Samuel L. Jackson vehicles. Maybe you shouldn't live on Pacific Drive.
You can keep guessing. I'll loop.
I don't know.
What was your previous guess that was closer?
Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry.
Okay. A close-up of his eyes, and they just say the actor's name.
Apocalypse
I know
Now?
this guy. They're saying this actor is a genius. He said people will do anything.
People will do anything?
I don't know why I paused.
Oh, I thought that was like a clue. That was like a real deep
Thing in front of
I mean,
him.
it's one he hasn't heard of, so it can't be like Predator or something like that.
Yeah, but he
like
may not have heard of
You
Predator.
do need to know my dad does not watch movies.
Yeah.
Predator.
No.
Lethal Weapon.
No.
He basically just described Black Rain.
No.
The Wrestler.
No.
Top Gun.
No.
Blade Runner.
No.
Blade Runner 2.
No.
Bottle Rocket.
You got to list all 2047 of their Blade Runner sequels.
Yeah. Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I Heart Huckabees.
We are looking for Taxi Driver.
No, that was there for all of us. Taxi Driver.
That's 2 points for John for buzzing in the most, though. And then it is 75 points for writing a script.
Hey.
So it looks like the winner of today's podcast, John Hastings. Thank you so much, John, for having never seen. I even forgot Complete Unknown. I cannot remember that. Isn't there another one called like A Total Nobody or something that also was nominated?
Can I
can't
also
remember.
say,
You can say
no
everything.
movie makes me want to see it less than calling something The Brutalist.
Oh,
Yeah. Adrian Brody is talking at a slow pace for 3 fucking years.
It is only 2 lines. That's just how slow he talks. They put an intermission right. I want to go just to reward the intermission.
I'm not alone in that Adrian Brody does not seem like a fun guy.
no.
Oh,
He can't be.
I saw him talking about he's in that one episode of Succession.
Yeah.
And he talks about it, and I think he's as fine an actor as exists. And he's talking about being Succession, and he talks about it. It makes Jeremy Strong look fun. This is how Adrian Brody's talking about one episode. He's like, well, the dichotomy of the relationship that we were trying to bring. I'm like, you literally are a guy in a vest on a hike.
Yeah.
And he talks about it with I'm fine with that in actors, but I agree he probably doesn't seem like super fun. He is but he's just so good.
Are you ready for a new modern actor thing I learned recently, which is Tom Hiddleston's favorite thing is he loves to introduce himself on video. So if like there's an event where it's like, oh, Tom Hiddleston be there, he will pretend like he's not there, send a video and be like, I am so sorry to not make your event. And then he'll pretend to see himself in the back of the theater, and then he'll walk on stage. And it's like,
That's a fun bit.
Tom Hiddleston has done this apparently so many times.
Like in the video, he'll be like, wait, isn't that me over
Yeah,
there?
he'll be
Like
like-
the big giant. That's
yeah,
so
he'll be
funny.
like, wait, who is that? The greatest actor in the world?
I'm not saying that's the move of a trickster,
Yeah, like I
but
mean,
the man is Loki.
nothing says mischief quite like a pre-prepared video, seeing someone live in the flesh. Oh, it's also you just know that he thinks it's his bit. Like he has an assistant that's like, tell them I'll do my bit.
Let everyone know where to find you, where to check out comedy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have too many YouTube specials at the John Hastings for all fine social medias. Jono, where can they find you?
This is now true as of recently. You can find me on OnlyFans.
Hey!
Just like with the.
I am also on OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw both of you on there.
Yeah.
I knew Kyle did.
I don't get on mine anymore.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, the moment I was contractually okay.
yeah.
But if you need any help figuring out how to navigate getting all the bonuses, I'm good at that.
Yes, good.
I
will.
didn't think about navigating getting all the bonuses, and that was a mistake on my part.
Yeah.
I will get your input. I would have given you a bonus just for being you.
Thank you, Jono.
But yeah,
Thank
at
you so
Jono
much.
Zalay on OnlyFans and everywhere else.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Once again, thank you again for not having seen this movie. I forgot. This is like I'm like having a stroke every time I think about the movie.
Here's the thing with Bob Dylan is he sucks. Is that Joan like if this movie portrays as Joan Baez? Oh, she's a bit of a frigid. Joan Baez was literally continually and constantly being arrested for stopping people from going to Vietnam. And then when Bob Dylan was like, I'm going to write pop songs, she's like, that's a little fucking dickish, man. And then she gets painted as the villain in history. And like Pete Seeger was like, he's like, I wasn't angry. And then, but the great lesson is like, he cried. It's like so unfair to the real people.
The real winner here, Llewyn Davis.
That's
I
right.
was going to say, like, Inside Llewyn Davis was good.
That was a movie that like, I was like, man, I got to see that movie. Well, here we are 7 years later.
You haven't seen the movie where the one guy has a cameo at the end of it. Spoiler for Llewyn Davis.
But I only saw that because they sent me a DVD of it in the mail.
I loved it.
When I was in the writers'
If
group.
you
They've got
send
the
me-
actual screeners.
I don't want to like linger too, but one of the funny, I loved Llewyn Davis,
Yeah.
and I'm just like this meandering guy who's lost again. He's like really failing. I watched it with Bailey, and she's like, "That guy's a fucking loser." She's like, "That fucking loser is fucking everything up," and I'm like, "Yes, he's also not who I rooted for."
I did
Or
this.
every comedian would identify
Yeah.
I know.
with.
I definitely didn't identify with him. I totally
Yeah.
identify with Justin Timberlake's character at home in a turtleneck.
So I love the movie The Big Short.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
yeah, it's great.
I found it very soothing. And then I was watching it once and I was like, oh, you know why you love this movie, John. It's a bunch of different people focusing on something that's not their real problem. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's...
I liked it because everyone had normal hair.
Oh, yeah. I also like every third scene is just someone yelling at someone and then they face no repercussions for yelling at that
Yeah.
person.
I remember watching it and thinking, there's really a lot of scenes where they're going, are we serious about that? But I'm like, that had to be how it got that far. Was
Yeah.
a lot of people would be like, oh, anyways. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Check
watch
out
The
The
Big
Big Short,
Yeah, it's really good.
with
Best of those
Succession
Get
executive
Big Shorty.
producer mastermind Adam McKay.
I've never seen it.